What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Throwing Strikes podcast. I'm Steven Rissotto. This is now episode number 8, and we are joined today by Matthew Calhoun, a Division I baseball player at Santa Clara University and played baseball at Archbishop Riordan High School. Callie, how you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
So I know you're doing some school stuff still, but there's no baseball or any type of sports for that matter. What's it been like kind of with the online learning? Has that been easy for you? Has that been tough? What's that been like?
So the online learning, it was a little different at the start. You have way more time than usual. Usually on a daily basis, we have our workouts, we have our practice, we have a routine. So in the beginning, it was hard for me to start a routine. But as a team right now, we're starting this thing called with Brian Kane. He's a good mental coach. And we do this 168 plan, so 168 hours in a week. And on like every Sunday or whenever you want to start, you plan out your whole week, every by hour or by 15 minutes, however you want to do it. So that has what helped me so far throughout this quarantine is just making sure I have a nice routine to keep going with. So it's also helped with school as well. You can do it for work, you can do it for sports, you can do it for anything. So this 168 plan has helped me with quarantine for school and also just staying healthy and in shape for baseball for when it hopefully comes back.
Awesome. So have you picked up on any new hobbies and activities during this time?
Um, Not really. Kind of. I've always been into shoes and clothes and photography and stuff like that. And editing as well, like editing photos. So I've got back a little bit into that, but also with shoes, I've started to like sell and buy. So it's a little thing I do just to make some money while I can't work or anything like that. But that's, I guess, a hobby I picked up was just
Mhm.
getting more into shoes, and like the Michael Jordan documentary has helped a lot as well.
Yeah, that was great. The Last Dance. If anybody hasn't watched
Yes,
it, it was fantastic.
it
I
was.
finished it a couple days ago. So your 2019-2020 season is kind of ruined. So what point were you guys at in the season? Did you guys get any games in at all?
Yeah, we got 17 games in. We got all through in before league started or conference started. So we got 17 games in and basically 4 weekends of baseball before it all got canceled before playing Gonzaga. And we were on a pretty hot start as well.
Well, that's too bad. I know
Yeah,
because you spend so much time around and so much hours around your teammates. And
exactly.
how hard has it been, kind of being away from them and kind of the camaraderie that you guys have built? Uh, Obviously, you mentioned the Zoom calls.
Mhm.
How hard is it being away from them and missing them and stuff like that?
It still is really hard, and it was really hard in the beginning. We were doing the best we've ever done in a long time. We were real close to everyone. The fall helped a lot, and just starting season, we were like brothers. All of us were brothers. We were just doing everything together. It was awesome. And then when we got the news, it really sucked because we didn't know what was going to happen if the seniors were going to be gone or if they get an extra year. So we were all on the fence, like, how is what we're doing and all the work we put in just going to end? And they get nothing out of it, especially for the upperclassmen and seniors. They've done all this for 4 to 5 years, and then having what's going on cancel and finish their whole season, I felt awful for them. But with what's happening with the NCAA, they're grateful enough to give everyone an extra year and extend the roster size, thankfully. So everyone's gonna be back, and so we have a lot of seniors coming back. So we're not really sad or depressed anymore. We're very excited and just working for next year.
So that was going to be my next question, actually. So what does that mean for your eligibility moving forward? Is it just
Hmm.
the same? Does it reset?
Yeah. So this year I didn't redshirt my freshman year, so I played freshman year, and then so this is my sophomore year. And so since with Corona, can I say that? Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. So Corona canceled the season. NCAA gave us an extra whole year, so I'm technically a sophomore again with eligibility years. So everyone gets one extra year back. But for the incoming freshmen, they only got the 4 years. So they're gonna be coming in and they're gonna be freshmen right away. And so we had freshmen this year. They're gonna be redshirt freshmen or just eligibility freshman year.
Gotcha. So let's talk more about your career. You came up through San Francisco. What was that like playing baseball in San Francisco? Obviously, big city. How was that
Hmm.
like?
different in every other city you'll get to know. San Francisco baseball. Didn't play little league. I played junior giants in the beginning. So funny story. My brother, I have an older brother who's 3 years older than me, and he started playing baseball around when he was 8 years old. So when he was 8, I was like 5, and they like had me play t-ball, but I didn't want to play t-ball. I thought it was not fun, and my parents wanted me to play with my brother. So somehow we snuck in through like the underground ropes or whatever, and I was able to play with the older guys. So I've always been playing upper division like with players. So when I was like 8, I was playing with 12-year-olds. When I was like 10, I was playing with 13-year-olds, and when I was in middle school, I was already playing with high schoolers with travel ball. So I went from junior giants to SFYBL, and then in middle school I did parish because St. Philip's is the closest parish school because I went to Aptos Middle School. So I played for Aptos Middle School and St. Philip's because they're in 2 different seasons. So I did that, and then I played travel ball during the off season for when school wasn't happening.
So I was actually a sophomore during your senior season at Riordan.
Yes, sir.
And I remember watching you absolutely man the shortstop position, and being one of the team captains for the varsity team. So tell me a little bit more about your high school career, and what that was like for you.
Yeah. Funny thing was I wasn't a shortstop until like I wasn't a true shortstop until I got to high school. Before at 8th grade year, like for my middle school, I was a pitcher, I was a catcher. And when I was playing with all the older guys were bigger, stronger. So I'll be in left field, center field, sometimes catcher, and I'll pitch. So coming up, I was looking to play middle infield, but with Coach Lynn, he was awesome enough for me to give the starting shortstop spot to me. And so starting at shortstop all 4 years, it was a lot of fun. I always pride myself in my defense. That's my main thing. My defense and my speed.
Awesome. I don't know what happened. There's like a cloud that kept coming
Yeah, I
up.
saw that.
So, what was it like playing in the WCL? It's one of the nation's toughest leagues, um, toughest high school leagues. How good was the talent that you came across in high school?
WCL is definitely one of the best conferences or leagues in the whole country for baseball and almost every single sport. To be honest, the WCL just breeds athletes. No matter what, they can be multi-sport athletes. They can be football players. They can be basketball players. And for baseball, it's just especially in the Peninsula area, Valley Christian, St. Francis, Midi, all those schools, and SI and SH as well, and Sarah, all those schools are really good at baseball. And I think it helps you as an overall baseball player and just a person in general. Just we always have up and down seasons. It teaches you a lot how to take punches, how to throw punches back. It was a great experience. I wouldn't trade anything for the world. I love going to Riordan. It was the best thing for me, and I loved it. I was actually supposed to go to Mission High School. That's a funny story. I was supposed to go to Mission High School instead of Riordan, and I had to apply to Riordan, I think, in May of my 8th grade year, because when you apply for middle school, you do it in the beginning of 8th grade.
Hmm.
And when you do that, I got into Mission High School, and they're not really known for their baseball or really any sports like that besides football and basketball. They're pretty good at that. But so applying to Riordan was a strange thing. I knew not many people besides people on the baseball team, and I had no idea what the WCL was. I didn't know how good the conference was going to be. So especially my freshman year, being on the freshman team, and then later on being on the varsity team, but the talent was a surprise for sure. Because in San Francisco, the talent can be a little wishy-washy. You have those star players on each team, but when you go to Midi, you go to Sarah, you go to Valley Christian, they have 9 of those guys.
Yeah. So during your time at Riordan, you walk around the baseball program today, and you always hear, "Oh, Callie's attitude and work ethic. That guy worked hard." So where did that work ethic and attitude come from?
Um, Definitely thankful for my brother and my dad. Growing up playing with my brother, always wanted to be like him. He was always older, bigger, stronger than me, so my sights were on being like my brother. So that was where came my motivation. But my dad is the one that gave me my work ethic. He is the hardest working man I know. He's like the biggest thing I have is with my time management and just coming to the field. The quote he always gives us is, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, don't bother showing up. So my goal is just to show up early every day and just start working right away. That's when I'm there. I'm giving my 110%, no matter what, no matter how I'm feeling, no matter if I fail the test, if something's going on, I'm giving my heart to the coach and to the whole team.
So, you talked about how you take pride in your defense. So, what are some of the things that you've done to improve yourself defensively? I know you said you weren't originally a shortstop, um, and how important is it to play good defense?
Defense wins championships. If you can play, so playing shortstop and priding myself for my defense was just, I was always a decent hitter, like not a big power guy. There's nothing amazing. I didn't hit 5 bombs a year in high school. I still don't hit bombs really now in college. But so just priding myself in my defense, knowing that if a ball is hit in my area, I'm going to go catch it. I'm going to go throw the guy out. That's my main, no matter how I'm going to do it, if it's ugly, if it's bad, if there's a bad hop, I'm going to catch the ball. I'm going to make the out. That's the main goal, no matter how it's done, no matter how hard the ball's hit, no matter how soft the ball's hit. There's fundamentals involved, but I think if you have the mindset where you're going to go, I'm going to go catch this ball, I'm going to go throw the guy out, you're going to be fine.
So, you graduated from Riordan, you hit to Santa Clara University. You signed a national letter of intent to play there. How did the school pique your interest, and what was that process like with them?
Hmm. The process of just all colleges was very fun. It really took off my junior year summer going to senior year. I was playing travel ball for the California Warriors. Shout out to them, great organization and teams over there. I was starting to get a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails from a bunch of coaches, Division I, Division II. What really stuck out to me for Santa Clara was definitely the location. It's in the heart of Silicon Valley. It was a great school, great education you're going to get when you graduate. You're going to have a Santa Clara degree, and basically also the location for me, it's close, but it's also far enough away from home. It's a 45-minute drive for me, so if I have to go home, there's a possibility for me, and my family was always close enough to come support me at my games as well. So really what came down to me choosing Santa Clara was the location and the education I was going to get.
So, I know a lot of people have problems balancing the student life and athletics, and it's tough on some guys. So, what was usually your schedule like during the season in terms of balancing all that? So,
Yeah.
take me through a day in a life with Matty Calhoun.
All right. So during the season, we had all of our classes in the morning or workouts in the morning as well. So usually did the workouts at 6 o'clock in the morning, 3 to 4 times a week. So 6 o'clock in the morning. So 5 o'clock, 5:15, you wake up, you eat, you get ready to go work out with your team. After you work out, we have conditioning. So after we condition, it's going to be around like 8:15, 8:30 when we're done conditioning, and then people have class right away. So I have class from 9 to 12 or 9 to 1:30, depends on the day. And then when you're done with class, you find time to eat. And when you eat, you just head to the baseball field, and you're there from 2 to 6:30.
Whew.
When you're there for 2 to 6:30, 6 to 7 times a week, you eat right after, you shower, you do your homework, go to sleep because you probably have workouts the next day. It's a lot of time management. You got to be able to organize what you're going to do that day, and you just got to be ready to attack the day.
So you had some playing time in your freshman year at Santa Clara. So you kind of got a glimpse of what it was going to be like as far as talent goes. So what was the adjustment like between college and high school? What were some of the main differences, maybe similarities?
um Everyone is that dude in college. Everyone's there for a reason. It's a great school. You're in Division I baseball. Everyone was that kid in high school. I'm that man on the team, really. So when you go play other competition, it's like they're a lot bigger and stronger as well. That's the main thing that happened to me was the speed of the game. It slows down the way of with innings and people taking their time, but it speeds up with the velocity and how big and strong these guys are and how fast they are. And it also changed with how smart everyone is with the game of baseball. When you're in high school, you can just go out there sometimes and play, and like you can have practice the next day and just be ready to go for the game. Usually, people have mini practice. They have little workouts before the game to prepare themselves for the game, and so just basically the speed of the game was the biggest adjustment for me, with the guys being bigger and stronger and faster.
You primarily played shortstop in high school. We talked about that. Your freshman year as a Bronco, you started 3 games at second, 2 games in center, 1 game at third base. Ironically, none at short. So, do you like that utility role and like moving around like that? And is that like fun for you? Because I know a lot of guys embrace that role.
I love it. I love it. Like I said, growing up, I played multiple different positions. I didn't really play shortstop. I played wherever the coach told me to play because I just loved the baseball like that.
There you
So
go.
when the coach was like, "Go play third base," I'm like, "I haven't played third base since like 5th grade," but I don't care if I still have that mentality. I'm gonna go get the ball. I'm gonna go catch it. It's the same game. You just at a different spot. You have a different view. So playing shortstop, playing second, playing third, playing center field. It's all the same. It's the same game. I love playing different positions.
So I mentioned that the 2 starts in center field. You mentioned that you played a little bit of the outfield before going into high school. So was it weird for you to kind of like maybe relearn some of the new stuff in the outfield?
Um, a little bit. I definitely forgot how to throw guys out a little bit. That's a different throw than from the infield, from like shortstop to first base, from like center field to third base or center field to home. It's way different. So the progression for me to play center field wasn't that hard. I still have the mentality of just if the ball's hitting the air, I'm catching that ball. I'm catching every single ball in the outfield. I'm gonna throw it back in. I'm gonna throw the guy out. I'm gonna do something, and it's just adjusting to the outfield wasn't a big adjustment for me. I actually love playing outfield.
So there's a quick shout out to Coach Ramsey because he teaches the arm circles and the
The arm
arm.
circles,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I
Yeah.
remember first day of camp, baseball camp, going into freshman year. We did that
Mhm.
for like the whole time.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
So the emphasis was always on that. So
Yeah.
how far do you want to take your career? Because I'm sure,
Mhm.
anytime someone's playing D1 baseball, the possibilities of going pro probably always sit in the back of your head.
Yeah.
So how far are you going to take this? And do you have any other plans, maybe besides outside of baseball?
Yeah. So I'm taking baseball as far as I can.
Awesome.
Um, with this extra year that we're able to get, a lot of people are considering, especially the underclassmen, if they want to do a 5th year. So when you have to go into grad school, apply to grad school and get in and then play. And so I'm 100% down with going for my 5th year and being at the school because I just love the school that much and I love my team that much that I want to play all five to 4 years. And so if I can play Major League Baseball or pro baseball, that's gonna be the goal. Of course, it's always gonna be in my head. It's what I do. But after that, graduating from Santa Clara gives you so many opportunities in the Bay Area just to work. And so it's either if I'm working for a company or if I become a coach, I still want to be involved with baseball somehow. It's in my heart. It's what I know most and what I love the most, basically. So it's either working or becoming a coach or finding a happy middle.
Awesome. Matt, thanks for taking the time, a couple minutes here to talk about your career. I really appreciate you coming on.
Of course, thanks for having me, man.
All right, you guys can follow Matt on Twitter at Flacco Matt, FLACKOMATT. Where's the Flacco come from?
Flacco, that's
Flacco.
a
There you go.
funny story. Flacco, yep, Flacco. So in middle school, um, a lot of my friends were Latinx, so Flacco means skinny, and so I would get called that a lot. But then also I have a big passion for music, and one of my favorite artists growing up was ASAP Rocky, so he calls himself Flacco.
Mhm.
So it's kind of just both. I get called Flacco, and I just love this artist that much. So put the two and two together, Flacco Matt. That's what you
There
get.
you go. And you
Yep.
can follow us on Twitter at Strikes Podcast, and then Instagram is Throwing Strikes Podcast. Thank you everybody for listening, and or watching, and have a good day.